off. At this stage here, ordinarily we would require you to remove the brake caliper, these two bolts, put that out the way, remove the brake rotor and get that out the way so that you can get to this here. I have to show you this on the ground because we've already permanently removed ours. So this will be the brake dust shield. You have a series of bolts around the outside of it that you'll need to remove, and then you're faced with the decision. You can either remove the hub, pull it off properly as you should, or you can just cut it off. I'll leave that up to you. Once you've removed the dust shield, the brake caliper and the rotors can go back on, and now we just need to move on to removing the factory outer tie rod. So that's this guy here. To remove this, you'll need to break this guy here loose. Obviously everything's already been done to this car, I'm just kind of repeating the process so that that can be removed. Then you want to undo this guy here, which ordinarily would be a castle nut, which I don't have because we're not using anymore, and you'd have a split pin through there. So you want to take those out so you can get that nut off using a ball joint separator or whatever method you prefer. Remove the outer tie rod, sorry, and wind that off. So this is where we should be at. Outer tie rod removed, dust shield removed, hub ready to go. Now I'll point out now while it's here, as you can see, this sway bar end link is actually different to factory. On the factory, it goes like this. So that guy sits down the bottom, and if you're using the second hole, that can be an interference point. But for the first hole, it's not a necessary step. The factory sway bar mounts are fine. So first thing we want to do is get our jam nut and wind that on. Then we have our rod end into the shaft. Don't wind it all the way in, leave a good gap. So now we want to attach the bracket itself to the hub. So you notice on the bracket, one side has 2 holes, the other side has 1. So you want to make sure you've got the side with 2 holes facing into the car. We pop our cap screw and washer through here. Don't do this up too tight just yet. I want to get a little grub screw. So again, a little bit of Loctite. You don't want any of the stuff coming loose. You can do this one up tight. Then we get a small bolt, spring washer, again Loctite, and pop that through. You'll then want to get the 1/2 inch bolt, large washer, small washer, rod end, tapered washer, bit of Loctite, and then into the required hole. We're using the second hole. on our car. It's about 55 degrees angle. We've had to clearance a bit of stuff to do that. I recommend everyone tries the first hole first and see how you go. If you've got enough room, then go further. Alright, so that is now everything roughly in place. I'll just go back and I'll torque all these bolts properly with the torque wrench. Now all that's left to do is correct your alignment. So when adjusting your alignment, this is not reverse threaded. So what you want to do is, using a 14mm, turn your inner either left or right to correct the toe, but just hold this straight and then lock those off once you've got your toe correct. I've roughly corrected the toe just by eye. You're going to want to do this properly, take it to a wheel alignment machine or use string lines. For the purpose of this video, this is absolutely fine. What I'm going to do is just chuck the wheel back on now. And we just want to check our clearance, because your wheel is going to turn a lot more than it used to. Just want to turn your wheel all the way in, check for rubbing. As you can see, we are not rubbing the sway bar, so we are fine. We did change these end links, as I mentioned earlier. Then we'll just go back the other way. Check out this side. So, best to go underneath. What you want to look for, see right there, that is just rubbing tyre on the lower control arm. Now these are not the normal wheels we run. We normally run a slightly more negative offset wheel, and so that is fine for us to run the second hole. But if this is you and these are the wheels you plan on using, I would take it back to the first hole, because you're just going to ruin your rims and your tyres. Right, that's it, all done and dusted, relatively painless. So, key things to remember: Loctite, torque specs, wheel clearance and wheel alignment, okay? Other than that, have fun. Look forward to hearing how you guys get on with our kits. Any questions, any problems, always just message the Facebook page. Someone's always about to answer that. If you come across any slight differences, which there might be from car to car, such as this was a non-ABS vehicle, so I've seen the ABS line is just zip tied across the hub, so just bits and pieces like that. If you need any help, anything that's slightly different on your car to our test car, yeah, just message us and we'll help you through it, no worries. Cheers.